So, good evening, everyone, or good afternoon, whenever you're watching this video. My name is Patty Schramm. I'm the Parent Resource Trainer Coordinator for the SALT Talks, which serves Southwest Ohio. I just thought I wanted to do a little video about my journey, my transition journey for those parents who are new to the transition journey. And just let you know you're not alone. That's why we created this SALT Talks, so that parents who are, whether you're just entering transition, looking at transition, in the middle of transition, or have been through the transition from school to adulthood, maybe your son or daughter is older. There's many topics that your life is a transition, and it's not just going from school to adulthood, but maybe it's a little later in life. You're looking at guardianship or special needs trust or stable account. There's many topics that we cover during our sessions that are dedicated to transition. So a little bit about me and SALT Talks. So again, like I said, my name is Patty Schramm, and I'm the Parent Resource Trainer Coordinator for the SALT Talks. So SALT stands for School to Adult Life Transition, and we have this series. We are meeting virtually, and we will focus on transition-related topics. We are doing a few hybrid sessions for the first time this year. And so we want to make sure that we keep parents informed. So when I go back to my own transition journey, just a little bit about me. So our son was going through IEPs. He had them through school. I attended many of the IEP sessions by myself. I didn't know from one session to another exactly what I was doing. I just relied on the school and went with what they, offered or said. It would have been very helpful to have someone else there with me. I didn't realize until later years that I could have invited, someone else from another organization. So I always stress to parents, just invite. There's people from the County Board of DD Services. There's many different groups, even a family member you can invite to your IEPs or your ETRs. So we were, like I said, we had gone through IEPs, and we were getting up there in high school, and we didn't know what we were going to do when graduation came. We were in that senior year, and here we came to March, and graduation was only 3 months away. We're like, what are we going to do? We weren't sure what was going to happen. The whole thing about SALT is, what happens when that school bus stops coming to your door? What happens when your child graduates? What are you going to do? Because there are many hurdles that we look at. Is your child going to, stay home while you go to work, or, are they going to watch videos? I know talking to different individuals, they are saying they love to sit at home in their pajamas. I mean, who doesn't, and watch TV, but that can't be a life's goal. So we didn't want that for, a goal for our son. We wanted to make sure that, he had opportunities, and, he could work, go out into the community and participate, work, whatever. But we didn't know what that looked like. We didn't know how to do that. We didn't know what the next steps were. So when we came to March, I just happened to see a flyer at a local high school. It was a college and career fair, one of the, how they get offered throughout the year. So we went just to see what information we can gather, what we could find out, anything. We were just reaching in the dark for many things. It was during that fair, there happened to be a table set up for the County Board of Developmental Disabilities. And we never heard anything about this, and we went up and talked to them and discovered they had some programs that addressed transition. And we got talking to them and realized that was what we needed to know. So we start going to our first meetings March, 3 months from graduation. It was one roller coaster ride from that point on. And I never wanted to hear or see parents go through that, that we went through. We hit the pavement running, whatever, hit the ground running. We had to go through all these eligibility processes, not only with the county board eligibility. We were looking at, he didn't have a diagnose. They helped us get the diagnose for him to move forward with many eligibility processes. He was going to be 18 in April. We were facing Social Security decisions. What about this? And then with employment, when he gets out of school, what's he going to do? Is he going to be employed, unemployed? What's that going to all look like? So they're helping us gather this plan together. And we were working on that part and getting OOD involved, Opportunities for Ohioans with Disabilities. We're working on, we were just going from place to place, and I was carrying 2 Tupperware tubs of information, all of his IEPs, all of his medical history. We were just going from office to office. I even got lost. I'm like, I don't even know what place we're in. I just know we have to be here this time, this day, this time, and I need to present information about my son. And I had all of his records collected and trying to answer their questions. And I didn't even know what office I was in half the time because we were just going from office to office to office. Very confusing year. I said that was my year of a migraine, because between Social Security and collecting all this information, it was just one very confusing year. And then when we were approaching graduation, we learned that he could extend his education 2 more years and try to get enrolled in Project Life and Project Search that was being offered in our area. So we went that route and process. We deferred his diploma. He got into Project Life, and then he followed with Project Search, which he graduated from 2 years after his initial graduation. He got his diploma and all that information, but that set him up for a great career of possibilities with employment. They taught him all about, the Project Life was a little bit about, learning to cook and, a little bit about employment, just touching on how that looked as a group. And then, of course, we went into Project Search, where he worked at different locations and really enjoyed it. He really liked getting out. They had board meetings. It was great. So anyway, we had him graduated, but, and then just still following all these processes. We got him established. And then a few years later, I had the opportunity to help start the SALT program in Montgomery, Greene, and Warren counties. And I said, sure. Like I said, this was all about families and helping them get through transition. It is very, very confusing if you don't know where to turn. So with that, I helped them. It was 2015. We helped get that started in those counties. And then later I helped in our home county as well. But then since then, we've gone virtual with some meetings, and it's reached out to even more counties and more families. And we have online resources now, just helping to get families through that transition period and beyond. And those online resources are out there. I always called it midnight reading, because when your child was awake and you had schoolwork or whatever, you just never had enough time during the day. With all the paperwork you have to do, and just helping your child with supports and stuff. So I always call it midnight reading. So you can go onto the online live binder, which we offer. I have a separate video for that. But we have, like I said, online live binder. We have a Facebook site. We have a website, YouTube site, and you can go onto any of those sites, whatever is easiest for you to learn, cross-reference them, whatever. So I hope that helps you a little bit. I don't I'm hoping that it helps you get through transition. Don't worry. I mean, it is one of those most confusing times to go through. It gets overwhelming. I had headaches. I mean, it was very stressful. So don't feel you're alone in this. If you don't understand what the topics are. So I just hope that what we do helps, and I hope you learn a little bit tonight as you're working with hearing the presentation that Judy is giving and the other individuals that are there with her. So have a great evening, and thank you for listening.